During jury selection in a medical malpractice case, there comes a point where I want to excuse one of the potential jurors and my opponent doesn't. Why do I have to speak to the judge now in order to resolve this issue? You want to know the answer? Come join me as I share with you some terrific information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. All right, you brought a lawsuit against your doctor claiming he was careless, causing you significant harm and injury. The doctor whom you sued denies all of your allegations, which means your case goes the distance. And now 2 or 3 years down the road, your case finally comes up for trial. The judge now tells us to go pick a jury. Guess what? Now we're brought into a room, 30 strangers are brought in, and now we get to speak to the first 6 to determine whether or not they can be fair and impartial. While I'm questioning these various jurors, somebody says something that bothers me greatly. My opponent loves this person. What could they possibly say? I don't think anybody should ever sue their doctor, is what juror number 1 says. Whoa, really? Why is that? Now, I'm not going to ask him to explain his reasoning in front of all the other jurors, because I'm going to ask him to step outside to talk further about that. I know that whatever he's going to say is going to poison or taint the rest of the jurors. So I'll ask him to step outside. I learned that this guy had something go on in his past, and now he firmly believes that injured patients should never, ever sue their doctor. By the way, he has a couple of doctors in his family, so that is going to bias him or prejudice him in favor of the doctor in this particular case. So now you should know, I have the opportunity to remove 3 different jurors without having to give my opponent any reason whatsoever. My opponent has the same opportunity. In law, we call those peremptory challenges. A challenge is simply where I want to remove a potential juror. That's what it means. Peremptory simply means I am taking this person off of the jury, and I don't have to tell my adversary why. It could be for any reason whatsoever. But now, this person has given me reason why this person should not be on this jury. He's going to be biased in favor of the doctor and against the injured patient. Now there's a good reason why this person should not be sitting on our case as a juror. So what happens if I tell my opponent, listen, this person clearly does not belong on this case. My opponent says, ha, guess what? You want this person off? You have to use one of your 3 challenges that the court has given you to get them off. I say, wait a second, absolutely not. I'm not using up one of my challenges because it's so obvious that this person has a clear reason why he should not be on this case. So now my opponent and I disagree. And if we cannot agree, guess what? Now I have to ask the judge who supervises jury selection to intervene. So now we go and talk to the judge who supervises jury selection, and I tell the judge about this particular juror. I tell him about his biases and his prejudices, and I tell him what he has said and explain why I believe this person should not be on our jury, and ask the court, ask the judge, to excuse him for cause with reason. My opponent turns around and says, Judge, what's he talking about? This guy tells me he can be fair and impartial. So what that he doesn't think people should bring a lawsuit? And now the judge will have to decide whether or not to allow this person to stay on the jury, and if I really want him off, I'll have to use my challenge to get him off. And I don't want to do that, because I have only 3 options, 3 challenges. I want to keep them as long as possible and only use them when I have to, and I have no other choice. In this instance, where it's so clear-cut, where the judge should have no choice but to remove this juror because he is biased, in that instance, I believe that the judge will excuse them, and I will not have to use my 3 challenges, or one of them, in order to excuse this particular juror. So why do I share this with you? I share this with you because you are not present with us during jury selection. It's only the attorneys and these potential jurors who are in the room with us. There's nobody else there, and the judge is not even sitting in there. You know, I realize you're watching this video because you're learning more, but let me ask you something. If you have not yet started a lawsuit and are thinking of doing so and still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.